Hello and welcome, wherever you are in the world, to this very special occasion, the global live stream reveal of the Volvo S60, the new Volvo S60. I'm Jason Barlow, and we're coming to you live from the Volvo Ocean Race village in sunny Gothenburg. Not so sunny at the moment, but we're all good. Based in a custom-built rain-repellent pop-up studio here. Now, I've been joined by a panel of hand-picked Volvo experts, primed to answer questions about the new S60. Not just my questions, but yours too. This is really important, delivered to us via Facebook. So please, fire away. This is your golden opportunity to get to the heart of the new machine. Okay, speaking of which, let's get down to business. As I speak, something big is happening close to Charleston in South Carolina, where the new S60 has literally just been revealed to a VIP audience and worldwide media. Here's what Volvo CEO Håkan Samuelsson had to say.
This is a milestone for Volvo, and with this factory, Volvo is now truly global with 3 home markets and where the factories have their role in the global production system. So this factory makes Volvo stronger, and it's also the important foundation for our further growth.
So, that's Charleston in the US. Back here in Gothenburg, well, here it is, the new S60 looking resplendent in red. It really does, and I'm delighted to say that 3 senior Volvo personnel have joined me here in the pop-up studio, all looking equally resplendent. Let's meet them. Tisha Johnson, Vice President of Interior Design. Hello. Ragnar Krona, Senior Product Manager, and Anna Hartelius, Director of Brand Strategy and Consumer Journey. Evening, everyone. How are we?
Oh, yes, super excited.
That is a very cool-looking car, I have to say. Anna, the new S60, it marks, as well as being an important new car, it marks a major new chapter for Volvo too.
Yes, so we are increasing our presence in the US. So we have new cars, new engines, a new factory that's being launched today. We are a Swedish brand, but with 3 home markets. And it's very important for us to be able to build the cars where we plan to sell them. So the S60 will be built in the US. It will hopefully be sold a lot in the US, but it will also be sold in other places as well, of course. But I also just want to mention that 2.5 years ago, we made a very bold statement. And we said we're going to completely renew our whole portfolio of products. And this is now the last one being rolled out, fulfilling that promise.
You must feel super good about that.
Yes.
Ragnar, you've obviously built a few already, because there's one out there.
Apparently.
Yeah, that's good to see. And there's also one upstairs. What are we looking at here then? What have we got?
What we have behind us here is the brand new S60 R design in a lovely fusion red color.
Punchy color.
Exactly, it really is. And it's powered by a T6 all-wheel drive engine, more than 300 horsepower. On top of us, we have turned up the volume even more. It's a new S60 Polestar engineered, powered by the iconic T8 engine, delivering 450 horsepower combined electrical and petrol.
415 horsepower. Tisha, the S60 also really does emphasize your global leadership in design. I'm not just saying that, it's a beautiful looking car.
No, we're very proud of the car. It's a great time to be a designer at Volvo. And you can see this car really delivers. It's truly a luxury sports sedan in every way. And it really starts from the proportions. It's got a really nice long wheelbase. We've really pushed that front wheel forward and created then a very short front overhang.
Deep waist as well.
Deep waist, yeah. It's very athletic. You see a closed cabin, so what you end up with, that all just creates a very sporty luxury statement. Okay, we're going to take some questions now from the community around the world, Facebook, principally. Chris asked this one for you, Tisha, I think. What blue colours will be available? Very specific, but important. Colour's important. It's an important question. We have actually 14 colours that you can choose from, but the blue, we have a bursting blue. That's more of a metallic blue. It's very deep and rich. And then we have a darker blue, denim blue. That color is darker, and it really works very nicely with the blonde interior.
We'll come back on that, obviously, we'll talk about design a little bit more. Here's a question from Anthony from Facebook. When will the new Volvo plant in South Carolina be open? Will we see some of the footage? Anna, when is it open?
It is open. So we have already produced cars there. This one, of course, is built there. But it will not be until the end of August that we will build cars that you can actually buy. But it's up and running.
Okay, and I believe, Ragnar, you've got some new neighbors there already in Charleston, yeah?
Yes, I think the alligators have moved in already in the small ponds that we have around the plant to pick up the hurricane water, yeah.
Okay, but seriously, the ramping up phase, this phase, a whole new factory, new employees, I mean, it's great news, but very demanding at this stage as well, isn't it?
Yes. A new car in a new plant is really demanding. So we choose to start the first half year to produce cars for Europe, for US only, and then we will move on to our other home markets, China and Europe and the rest of the world.
Okay, well, this is an important one, obviously, the world we're living in, and some of the commitments that Volvo has made. Rick, he loves his S60. He's planning to move from an older one to a newer electric one. Great news, you've got him already. But what's the timeline on the S60 plug-in hybrid? Let's actually open that up a little bit, Ragnar, and talk about some of the other engine variants. What have we got?
Yeah, so right now, for the US launch, we have the T6 all-wheel drive with the 313 horsepower, and we have a T5 front-wheel drive as well. Later this year, just before the year shift, also the plug-in hybrid or the twin engine, T8 twin engine, will be available. So then Rick should focus on that. Be happy, yeah.
No diesels?
So, no diesels planned, and it's pretty straightforward. The S60 is focusing on our two home markets, US and China, and they don't care about diesel anyway. We hope a lot of European customers will be interested in the new S60 as well, but it's not the main market. So for us, it's not that controversial to skip the diesels on the S60, given the decline that we see on diesel.
Okay, let's talk about Polestar, something that's firmly on the ascendant. Matthias is asking the question, it's one I would have asked anyway, but thank you, Matthias. Is it a Volvo or is it a Polestar? Can we clarify that? It's a Volvo.
Yes. So Volvo and Polestar are two different brands with two different with different products. But Polestar is born out of Volvo, and it stands for pure progressive performance. So as we're closely interlinked, we can borrow ingredients from each other. So basically what we've done is we have injected some of the performance from Polestar into the S60 through the Polestar engineers.
Okay, cool.
And Polestar has really turned up the volume on the S60 with Öhlins dampers.
Öhlins dampers.
Yes. Yeah. Brembo brakes. 19-inch Brembo brakes.
Serious
parts,
motorsport.
And also put their twist onto the T8 engine, so give a more horsepower. And
am I right in saying that all 60 series cars will have?
Yeah, I will come to the V60 and the XC60 later as well, but S60 is a good car to start with the Polestar engine.
Tisha, I'm going to bring you back in here to answer a question that's come in from Tadej. Slightly curious question. I think I know what he's on about. What can you say about the rear of this car, I presume?
Yeah, definitely it's a very sporty setup. It's very refined. I'm certainly eager to talk to you about the front of the car, but let's start.
We'll work around
in the
it.
back.
Let's work around
it. We'll get there. It's got a really nice long deck lid, and you'll see a kick-up in the back that is there for performance. It helps with aerodynamics. It also gives the car a very nice impression, a very sporty feeling. From there, you can see our C-shaped LED rear lights. Those are rather slim. They have a signature shape that you've seen before, but they have a nuanced difference. They have some attitude now. At the top of that C, you'll see it's kind of kicked up a little bit. We've also placed the license plate a bit high. All of that kind of adds up to a nice sporty effect. We have a lower diffuser that's black in color, but it does have a little wing shape that's body color. I like that feature a lot because it really is in harmony with other shapes that you see, as a matter of fact, in the front of the car.
I love that word, harmony. It's great. There is another detail which I think illuminates an interesting point about the relationship, dynamic within the company. The little kick on the rear window is different. So between the sedan and the wagon, Ragnar, you guys, you tussle over these things, don't you? But why is this significant, this particular detail?
Well, that detail is really important. It's a signature detail, but that dynamic kick is important because that's all part of what has this setup looking very sporty.
And the reason why we had a very dynamic discussion about that is that's normally not how you do it. You choose to use the same door up to the window, so to say, on the wagon and the sedan for practical reasons and economical reasons. So we tried that out, but in the end we saw that design was right here. We needed to do this to be really true to the S60. So the V60 has a slightly different kick than the S60.
Yeah, so
but it works really good for both cars. But
positive tension within the development team. That's good to see. Here's a question from Burak. Thank you, Burak. I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly. When will the new S60 come to Turkey? I guess we can use this one to open up about the rollout around the world.
We currently have a very pleasant problem at Volvo. We sell everything we can produce. And for the S60, as we talked about earlier, Jason, we have this ramp-up situation in the plant where we need to teach the plant and we need to ramp up the volumes over half a year. So the S60, we've decided, focus the US first 6 months while the plant is ramping up, and then we move to Europe and rest of the world, so including Turkey. So by beginning of 2019, he will be able to get his brand new S60.
A question from John. Thank you, Ragnar. But this one, has the new S60 more boot space than the old one? This applies wherever you live in the world, I guess. Has it got a bigger boot?
You always need more boot space. Yes, it has. It has 62 liters or more boot space to be exact, and that corresponds to approximately 20% bigger than its predecessor, the old S60.
Okay. Michael's asking, will it be available with a hybrid engine from the start? We did talk about this.
We did talk about that. Yes.
So let's just recap on that a little bit, just in case it's joined us halfway through.
Will be available by the year shift.
Okay. Here's one from Jason, actually, from my laptop. Is this the safest Volvo ever?
It is, of course.
You can't really say that, can you?
Well,
or is it just a natural thing that happens?
No, exactly.
Every car gets better.
No, it's like this. When we make a new Volvo, we take all the, in this case, we took all the juicy stuff from what we already launched in the so-called SPA platform. So what we mean V90, S90, XC60. Put that into the brand new S60. We also put world first feature on top of that, which we call oncoming mitigation by braking. It's the very unpleasant scenario where a car comes at you in your own lane. What we do, or what the car does, is when a collision is unavoidable, it will hit full auto brake, and that could really be the difference in such a terrible scenario.
Okay, so basically, with every step of the way, it's a bold assertion.
We build it all in, and then we add this which makes it the safest Volvo ever built.
Okay.
And every time we launch a new car, all of these are just steps towards fulfilling our vision that no one should be seriously injured or killed in a Volvo car, ever.
Remarkable ambition, but noble, obviously. Okay, John's got one here for us. Tisha, I think I'll throw this one in your direction. What's the most unique new feature in the interior? And John has added, I always liked the thoughtfulness of the interior design with Volvo. Well, I like the thoughtfulness too, John, and I like the thoughtfulness of your question.
Of course,
Tisha.
I love that question. It's great. I would point actually to the sports seat. It's beautiful, new addition, new
I love
feature
Volvo
to the
seats.
car.
I'm sure John does too.
And, of course, I want to go on about the interior. It is really beautiful, and it definitely is in harmony with the exterior in that it is also very light, it's very slim, and it has a very sporty expression. But if I talk specifically about the seats, it's a beautiful leather seat that has a very nice stitch that really shows off craftsmanship.
Tisha, why are Volvo seats so good? Because they are the best seats in the world. Why are they good? Very quickly, let's talk about the science. They are science. There's science in there.
Yeah,
for sure.
I was just going to say it's really the science of it combined with beautiful design. We're industry leaders when it comes to seat comfort and design, and that's because we dedicate a very methodic process to the development of the seat. So we have specific gates and checkpoints along the way. We determine the design. We apply something we call comfort curves. So that means that when you sit on the seat, it should feel just right. And that's based on those sections that we apply. And then we have this very rigorous development process where we keep riding in those seats as we move the design along and make sure that we check the comfort, make sure it's good.
I'm guessing that Joshua, who has fired in the next question from Facebook, is listening because he's asking, will we see more sporty trim options available in the interior? Are you going to...
Sporty trim, yeah, actually, I was just talking about that with the sport seat itself. That's definitely a bonus. And it's also in the interior itself. You have proportions that are quite sporty. It's very slim. We have a deco inlay that's really nice. And this is something that I really like about our take on sportiness. It is run through a filter that is technical. So we have a metal mesh inlay that is just exquisite, and it has that very technical feeling in a very sporty setting.
But I think, Tisha, we could also mention actually that we see the car here is all black in the interior.
Yep.
We're also launching in the R design trim level a more grayish, we call it slate gray version of this. It's also extremely beautiful.
And let's not overlook the fact that the whole car is a sportier offering, really. Ragnar, tell us about how you've made this more of a driver's car.
Yes, I mean, competing in this segment, the premium sedan CD segment, as we call it, it's a fierce segment. We have really good cars out there like the Audi A4, BMW 3 Series, and now also the Tesla Model 3. Inspiring drive is so important, and we've worked a lot to give the S60 a really inspiring drive, but also confident, because we need to do it in a Volvo way. And for us, it starts with you as a driver. You sit in a really sculptured, nice seat. We just talked about that. So, and you sit close to the ground in the new S60. The steering wheel is straight in front of you, where it should be.
Purposeful.
Purposeful, exactly. We have a very rigid body structure. Good for confidence, good for safety, but also for structural rigidness. And then we have the Spa chassis. The Spa new SPA chassis comes out at its best in the new S60. So that brings you all the journey from where you're sitting out to the tarmac, and you should feel connected in all those steps. Worked a lot with it, and we're quite happy.
I can't wait to try it. And Nor Solomon, I think, can you still do Volvo overseas delivery even though the S60 will be assembled in South Carolina? Anna, I don't know if you want to answer that one, or if you're the best place to answer that. There is another one I want to ask you off the back of that, but this overseas delivery, yeah?
I think no.
No, I think no. We've done this business mainly for US, bringing US customers over here to Gothenburg, very purposeful, driving the car around a little bit here in Sweden, and then getting it delivered home. Of course, this does not add up fully if you already build the car in the US. So,
But something that we definitely can talk about, the Care by Volvo.
Yes.
Well, tell me more about that.
Yeah, so this is our new approach to ownership. So basically what we're offering is you can decide if you want to buy a car, lease it, or subscribe to it through Care by Volvo. So basically you have access to a car without any hassle, and everything is taken care of, and it would be almost like you would use Netflix or Spotify or something else that you subscribe to.
Are you finding the advent of those services? I mean, they've redefined... It's hard to imagine a world before streaming services like that, and the car industry is kind of... the processes take so long, and the product cycles, everyone's got to get faster and faster, and it's basically a way of capturing a younger audience as well. I presume
exactly, it's capturing that mindset, and it's not just young people, it's everyone today that has, I guess, different demands on and different expectations. So we are really, we're moving with the industry at the same time as I feel we're really pushing the industry forward.
You've got to get ahead of it all, really.
We are.
Yeah.
We are.
I like this one from Timo. Who's got this at the top of their head? What are the measurements, brackets, exterior of the S60?
Somebody's testing my memory, but I'm good with numbers, so I can do it. But sorry to our US audience, because I do this in meters, and not in inches.
No, go
I
for
don't
it.
have the inches number in my head. But it's 4.76 meters long. It's 1.85 meters wide. And it's 1.42 meters high.
Okay.
And
then you do the math.
Well
But I would just add to that, the short story on that is that it's longer than its predecessor, it's lower than its predecessor.
Yeah. the designer loves that stuff. But the wheelbase is super long as well. Well, not super long. It's not a stretch limo, but it's notably longer, isn't it?
Wheelbase,
It's like two.
I mean, look at it.
2.86 meters, so it's a long wheelbase.
And you can see, well, first of all, it helps interior space, but that really does push the wheels. I mean, just what you were talking about, Tisha. You know, it's such a nice-looking car. I'd like to talk a little bit more about. Well, hang on, it's a question from VJ. There will also be a long. Oh, he's saying, will there also be a long wheelbase S60 Excellence? Yes, that's in China. Yeah, they like stretch cars, don't they?
We believe that this car has the right wheelbase for our three home markets, including China.
Okay.
So this is the S60 for the world.
Okay. While we have it right here, I mean, it's so nice just to have it sitting on the other side of that window. Now, I'd like to ask you a question, Tish, if you don't mind, about how LEDs and the advent of that technology is really literally changing the face of the car design of our industry. Very good
question. Yeah, I mean, we're able to incorporate the best technology. And you can see actually from the XC90 through, we've just continued as we move down the line to bring in the highest levels of technology. So standard on this car, it's all LED lights. And that allows us to have that very unique graphic, a very slim setup and very unique.
Everyone cars used to have big eyes, lights, and everything.
Yeah, I mean, so what you see in this car is some great attitude down the road, and I'm talking about that and the character that you see. So on the headlamps, you see that Thor's hammer, that T shape that's very iconic for us. And in particular, in the S60, you've got this nice expression where that T actually bursts through. It kind of comes outside of the boundary of the lamp shape itself.
Actually is at the
so
edge of the line.
it really looks like it's grabbing onto the front of the car.
Yeah, Tisha, thank you. Fernando is asking which models will be built in the US.
We're building the S60 in the US. And of course, we don't aim to stop there.
Yeah,
but we do not disclose any future plans, but the US plant is here to stay.
Okay. What a question from Ryan. Thank you, Ryan. I've never owned a Volvo. Why should I buy this one?
Why should you buy this one? Is that a question to me?
I'd like all of you to answer that question.
Basically. Yeah, we can
There's no doubt about why. It's absolutely our most refined, sporty expression. It is an elegant car that says exactly what we wanted it to say.
Ragnar?
I think it's a super nice
elevator pitch, they call this. Give me the elevator pitch.
It's the perfect Volvo. Pitch it up with a twin engine as well, the T8. I think by that you will be so pleased with this car. It's a driver's car. It's still a Volvo. It's beautiful. It's everything.
Anna?
Yeah, what do you say after that? But I agree. I think it's the design, it's the interior design, how you feel when you sit in the car and when you drive it. And then the fact that it's a Volvo, of course.
Okay, guys, that's it. Thank you so much. It's an amazing opportunity for all of us to have this time talking to you. Thank you, and thank you to the Volvo community for watching, firstly, and for those excellent questions. Now, if you want to find out more, well, you probably know where to go. Visit volvocars.com. Stay close to the Facebook page as well. You know how to do that. And you'll also find a series of fantastic films of this gorgeous new car on Volvo's YouTube channel. Enjoy. And that's good night from Gothenburg. Thank you.
Thanks. Thank you.